On today's Primetime local news, landfill fees may be going up in Lloydminster as the city plans for the future.
It would be terrific if this was the last landfill the city of Lloydminster had to build.
And residents in recovery are expanding their operations with a new child care center.
The bus depot will be our toddler and child educational program.
Plus, ahead of this year's CPCA season, the annual tarp auction was held.
Prime Time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The city is considering increasing fees for the Lloydminster landfill. Administration is proposing a 4% increase to the current landfill rates. This would be the first increase since 2020, and if approved by council, the new fees would come into place on June 1st. The city compared the new fees with 12 other communities, and while fees are increasing, Lloydminster is the only city that allows free landfill disposal for residents.
In the case that you have some excess garbage, you can haul it to the landfill as a resident with your ID or their utility bill, some sort of proof that you are a resident of the city, driver's license and utility bill. And there's no tipping fee. You can go to many communities in Western Canada and there is an additional tipping fee because you've generated more than your bin.
The gradual increase in the landfill fees allow the city to bring landfill services closer to a fully self-sustaining utility, including setting aside money for the landfill's closure. Council also discussed the possibility of Lloydminster turning its waste into energy, but the city would need to collaborate with neighboring communities as the city does not produce enough waste.
We need to talk to our regional partners and ask them how do they want to see and how would they approach it. Is there green monies available to assist us with that? Because it would be terrific if this was the last landfill the city of Lloydminster had to build.
Council will vote on the bylaw at a future council meeting. Residents in recovery have been working hard over the past few months to offer a safe space for mothers and their children in the community. Now they're excited to have a new space for childcare. Back in August, residents in recovery acquired the Harris House to use as their family healing center. They welcome in mothers with their newborns and toddlers while they're recovering.
If mother is in the hospital, gives birth to her daughter or son, and baby tests positive for drugs, instead of apprehending, mother and infant will come directly here, and they'll enjoy a 3-month treatment program together.
Since the healing center opened, most of the time it is at full capacity. With the care they do for infants at the center, they needed additional space for older children, which brought in the old bus depot.
At one point we had 29 children in the program. And with that comes the need for some childcare because mothers are still engaged in their day programming, outpatient programming, addiction treatment programming. So we need to do something with those kids during the day.
They are waiting approval to start renovations in the building so they can make the space their own. It's currently being used for educational programs.
There'll be a curriculum for any kids basically over a year old up to school age, and then there'll be some aftercare for aftercare school age children as well.
If you would like to learn more details about the program, visit their website. A former Lloydminster hockey player has written a book about the life of his brother who passed away from cancer. Wade Davidson released the book today. Stacey Comer spoke with him about why it was important to share his brother's story.
I'm pleased to be joined on Primetime Local News today by Wade Davidson. Wade was a familiar face here in Lloydminster and has just released a book. Wade, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wade, you and your brother Todd played with the Lloydminster Blazers. I believe it was in 2003, 2004. Is that correct?
That is correct. We played together at that season, and then Todd also had some extra time with the Blazers that following year during his treatments, and throughout his last game ever played was with the Lloydminster Blazers.
Well, tell me about Todd. Todd is the reason why you wrote this book, and it's called His Last Shift, the Playbook of Todd Davidson. Tell me why you wanted to write this book, Wade.
So Todd was just an incredible kid, and I got to see his 20-year life from right beside him. We played hockey together in Winnipeg growing up. We were fortunate enough to play hockey in the Western Hockey League for the Regina Pats together, and then also in Lloydminster together. And I just saw this special, incredible life lived kind of behind the scenes. He obviously had an incredible hockey career, but what he went through behind the scenes as a person, and also throughout his journey with cancer, then towards the end of his life, was just so incredible. So I knew very shortly after he died that this was a very special story. And I knew that there was power to these stories to be shared with other people, to give them inspiration, hope, faith, and all kinds of love in their lives while they're still here.
How long did it take you to put this all together, all the memories, all the stories, and everything, and to have this, really an amazing tribute to your brother?
It started. I started writing it in my head shortly after he passed in 2006, and then I really started to actually put it on paper around 2012, 2013. And it's been a 10-year plus journey, and I really started focusing in on around 2018. And I thought I was going to be able to launch, write the book and launch it right away. But obviously, books take a little longer than we think. And so the last 2-3 years have been dedicated to it, and then the push over the last few months to get over the finish line is where we're at right now. So it's been a long process. I'm so relieved and so pumped that it's finally here.
Can you tell me a little bit about the format of the book? Did you talk to people who knew him and have memories? Is it like family stories? What's the concept within the pages of the book?
So it's essentially his biography, but also my memoir. But I also tapped into all kinds of sources, including my mom, she played an incredible role with Todd's life. And, I got a lot of stories in detail from her, especially about the harder and more painful points of Todd's treatment. My dad gave me all kinds of stuff from our youth hockey days. And then also just individual people, like Todd had a doctor, Dr. Peter McDonald. He's the doctor for the Winnipeg Jets. He played a very important role in Todd's life. So through sitting down and having long conversations with them and going over details, I've found a way to patch the holes and bring Todd's story to life. The things that I didn't see, but for the most part, it's written from my point of view, and then with other people's perspective and input added in.
So where is the book available? Can you get it at Amazon and the typical places where you usually get books? And is there a website where you can get it, or how can people pick it up if they're interested?
So easiest and fastest way is Amazon. It's selling on Amazon across the world. I'm hoping to get into some physical bookstores down the road, but that's the next step. So as of today, Amazon, you can download the ebook automatically right away. Paperback's available, and then hard copies also available as well. And then about a month from now, I will have an audiobook that's going to launch as well.
How does it feel to know that you have taken all this time and were able to put all these memories together into one place to honor your brother like that? It must be, heartbreaking, obviously, but an amazing feeling as well, that this was such a great thing to put to pages so everybody can hear about his story.
It feels really special right now. There's a lot of relief, a lot of excitement. These stories have lived within me for a long time, and I'm most excited just about people being able to pick up the book and read Todd's story and see into some of these details and these powerful moments. So I think it's a lot of relief and excitement, and it's a special time for me for sure.
Now, you guys both played together here in Lloydminster. Can you tell me some of the memories that you had with Todd playing together here in the border city?
Oh, a lot of our best moments were off the ice. We had such a great community in Lloydminster. Just it was a unexpected stop in our life paths, but it was such a beautiful stop. The community welcomed us in. We had great friends, great family through billets around, and we had such a special time away from the ice and on the ice with Lloyd. We had such a good group of guys. And the biggest thing that I recall about Lloyd and the place it has in my heart is we found our love for hockey again. It was so much fun and just had a really great time.
Well, Wade, I really appreciate you speaking with us today. And I know this obviously was a difficult journey trying to put this all together, but I'm very excited to read it. And I'm sure the people in Lloydminster and in the hockey community and just, somebody looking for inspiration. What a great thing to do, a great tribute to your brother. So thank you so much. And once again, Wade, can you give us the title and where people can find it?
So the title is His Last Shift, The Playbook of Todd Davidson. Easiest way to pick it up is on Amazon, and it'll be available a little broader as we go forward, but that's the easiest way. And I really hope that you are inspired to pick it up and give it a read. And I look forward to, chatting about the story someday.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Wade, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
The 2022 CPCA season is just around the corner. 11 events will take place ahead of the Canadian Championship on August 17th.
There goes the Sabre Communications horn and the Canadian dash is underway.
Before we get back to the track, the CPCA hosted their annual finals tarp auction. 26 drivers sold for a combined $256,000. 2021 Canadian champion Logan Goris is thankful for the continued support from the sponsors.
It's a sponsorship-driven sport. You know, we put on 2 tarp sales this year, so it's a little tougher selling, 2 shows, 2 weeks back to back, and it's just good to see the sport is all. The sponsorship is what makes us go down the road. It's not necessarily the prize money.
Todd Baptiste drove the highest prize selling Tesoro oil field for $43,000. The season kicks off June 3rd in Prince Albert. And now for a first look at your Tuesday weather, we go to Shelby Clark.
Thanks so much, Jasmine. Taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the border city, unfortunately, we are seeing a much gloomier day than yesterday. Of course, here in Saskatchewan, Alberta, it's going to switch up in a coin flip here with our weather. We are sitting at that 0 mark. We do have a snowfall warning in effect. We will expect to see some snowfall of 10 to 15 centimeters of some snowfall throughout our night, and then that will stop tomorrow morning. So although we are seeing, that kind of blizzard look outside right now, we are seeing those strong winds as well at 41 kilometers an hour from the east. So hopefully everybody going outside is trying to bundle up and be safe out there, try and stay warm. And if you are traveling, please be careful. And now switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, we are seeing, most spots are seeing those plus degrees, but we are seeing some slightly cooler temperatures for sure on this side with 0 marks in Edmonton, Vegreville, and Vermilion. Up in Cold Lake, they're just seeing 5 degrees, while those 4 in Bonnyville, St. Paul, and Lac La Biche are at 6 and 7. Marwayne is a little bit cooler at 2 degrees, as well as down in Provost, and Wainwright is at that -1 mark. And down in this area as well here, they are seeing that snowfall warning in effect as well, while some spots are even seeing a windfall warning right now. So hopefully everybody's being careful outside. And on the Saskatchewan side, we are seeing a lot of 4 degrees on the map here with 2 in St. Walburg. Maidstone is just hitting that 0 mark, and down in Macklin, they are at 3. And for North Battleford, they will be going down to -3. They are seeing those flurries as well, but they will be seeing around 10 centimeters, so they don't quite have a snowfall warning in effect, but they will be expecting to see some. Then tomorrow, their flurries will continue into their morning at 2 degrees throughout the day. Switching out of Cold Lake, they'll be cooling down to -2. They will be seeing the least amount of flurries for around 5 centimeters they will be expecting. And then tomorrow they will be seeing a mix of some sun and cloud at 4 degrees. So they will be seeing a warmer day with a little bit more sun tomorrow. And from us to the border city, as I was saying, we will expect to see close to 15 centimeters, so get ready to see a lot more snow coming up here. Then tomorrow we will be seeing 3 degrees with a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. And now showing off a photo submission that we had submitted, then get everyone that submitted to our Facebook page. You can continue to do so, but this one's from Boomer. What a gorgeous shot. I love this one. Almost looks like it's at Bud Miller, and it's probably on one of our warmer days here. Unfortunately, our day doesn't look like that today, but hopefully we'll get there with the spring season just around the corner. But thanks again for this shot, Boomer. And that's all I got for now. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Pet Project, joined once again with Becca Lawrence from the Lloydminster and Community SPCA. Becca, how's everything going over there this week?
Oh, it's going pretty well. How about you?
Oh, everything's swell over here. So we have a lot of animals to show off this week. So instead of just having one and kind of introducing it, what we decided we'd do is Becca is just going to kind of show off some of the cats and kittens that they have at the SPCA while we have a chat. So we're going to discuss some topics. And if you want to keep your eyes peeled on, obviously, Becca, she's going to show off some of the cats and the kittens. So we'll just get right into it, Becca. So you guys have an upcoming event. It's called the Pop to Adopt event. So why don't you just let us know what's coming up with that?
Yeah, so our Pop to Adopt adoption event here is for our kitties, because we always have tons and tons of kitties. And we also have some that have been here for far too long. So last week we did Genevieve and Guinevere here, and they are still looking for their forever homes. So basically what our Pop to Adopt event entails is if you want to adopt, oh, this guy's snacking. If you want to adopt, then you can send in your application, And then you get to come and you get to pop a balloon. Here we got some getting ready over here, our Pop to Adopt. So yeah, so that way you can get anywhere between 15 to 75% off your adoption fee. So we're hoping that entices people to come and adopt their new best friend and get a good, sweet deal on their adoption event.
Yeah, exactly.
Or adoption.
If you've been in the market for a kitten or a cat, obviously no better time than when you can get a good deal. So certainly if you're in the market, stop in and speak with everyone at the SPCA. Beautiful. So we have another event coming up this week. We've touched on it every week for the past little bit here, but it's time for the Spiro's pizza pickup, obviously. So people have been putting in orders, and it was for a good cause, obviously, to help raise funds for the SPCA. So Becca, why don't you give everybody, kind of a rundown on how they can pick up their pizza and whatnot?
Yeah, so on this Thursday is our pickup day. So I'm just confirming times with Spiro's of when the pizzas will be here at the shelter. And then I'm going to start calling everybody to book in their time slots to come get their pizza. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Or their sauces that they ordered as well too. So yeah, that's all going to be on Thursday. And yeah, we're just really thankful for everybody that participated. I think we haven't got an official number, but it's over $300 that we were able to raise.
Wow, that's wonderful to hear. So thank you to everybody who participated, and certainly, stop by the SPCA to pick up your pizza. Beautiful. And another topic that we had kind of touched on, Becca, off camera a little bit, was the fact that you guys are looking for some new volunteers. It's really busy here this spring, and you guys need all the help you can get. So I'm just going to let you kind of, put the word out there, so to speak.
Yeah, so, excuse me. So yeah, we've been doing pretty good for our volunteers coming in and applying and showing up and hanging out with all the animals. But yeah, I kind of wanted to throw out to remind everybody that we have a Book Buddies program. So that means that you can come and hang out and read to the kitties and the puppies, and it's very relaxing for them and enjoyable for the kids or adults. I don't judge on age. So yeah, we have our volunteer program to hang out with the cats and take dogs out for walks. We also have our Dogs Day Out program. So if you are unable to adopt a pet, but you want to hang out with a dog for the day, you can absolutely come and do that as well too.
And that's obviously a great option, if you can't adopt and you can't make a long-term commitment, but, you love animals and you do want to take a dog to the park and, give it a treat and spoil it for an afternoon. So certainly if that's something you're into, get in touch with the SPCA. They're a wonderful organization. The reading to the kitties sounds like a lot of fun. So, if you're a kid out there or you have a child and you want to help encourage it, in its reading journey, in its path to literacy, certainly I don't think there's a better opportunity than to read to the kitties. Beautiful. And one other quick thing we have to talk about, Becca, is you guys have another fundraiser coming up, which is great. Love to hear anytime you guys are putting on an event. But this one is a Pampered Chef event. So once again, I'm just going to let you kind of tell people what to look forward to.
Yeah, so Pampered Chef. So we have a nice lady, Erin, that is, fundraising for us through her Pampered Chef. And we're going to do a live this week. It's going to be fun and interesting. I've never done a live like this before, but I can't wait. And it runs all through March and April. So we'll have more details soon on how you can get in there on her party and everything. But yeah, and then I believe it's up to 30% of sales that we receive from every purchase. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful opportunity. If you have a few items in your kitchen that you're missing, certainly the Pampered Chef is a great brand. I have a few things of them at my own house, so that's a good opportunity to pick something up and obviously help out a great organization. So if anybody has any questions about these upcoming events, certainly, give the SPCA a follow on their social medias, their Facebook, their Instagram, and then you can obviously be in the loop for any new information that comes out for these events or any in the future. So that's unfortunately all the time we have for right now, but I want to thank you, Becca, for stopping by. I want to thank all the cats and kittens for taking time to say hi to our audience out there. So once again, thank you so much, and we'll speak with you again next week.
Thanks so much. I'll see you next week.
Pet Project is sponsored by the Pet Pad. For total pet care, think Pet Pad.